It's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember us?
Yeah. Welcome back.
Those short few months have just flown by.
Flown past.
Yeah.
But we are back.
We're back.
We've been meaning to do one for a while. Recently, I posted a short, and Highland Duncan of Galenus Army fame.
Yeah.
He said that he was missing
Oh,
us, and I
God.
thought, you know what, it has been a while.
It sure has.
So, time for us to get back to it.
Yeah, it was just before Christmas, I
We
think.
were
It's our
saying
last one.
since before Christmas.
We've had such a good time. It's
Yeah.
been such a,
It's been a blast.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
It's been a great winter. Skies, blue skies.
Yeah.
Crisp, sunny mornings.
It's just been a dream.
It's been joy all day long.
So we thought we'd bring the joy to you.
Right. So what was more joyous than filling a bowl full of leaf
Yeah.
and blazing away?
Just a bunch of old men together, smoking pipes.
Yeah.
So
we're on it. So yes, we're back, and we've got a couple of things we're going to go through. First of all, I think hardware. What have we got on tonight? Nice chimney.
yeah, so for
on
me,
the,
nothing new well, actually, new blend actually. But the hardware is I've got the Falcon Hunter Dublin, I believe, on the Hunter stem.
Yeah.
All black everything. But in it, I'm smoking Jermaine's Rich Dark Flake, which, I mean, we've mentioned it multiple times on this. I always like to tell the story about how I went to Whitby and I got a sample.
Yeah.
And I always wish I got more. It just so happened that I spent a couple of days in Oxford over Christmas, and one day I looked up like local tobacco cigar places and that. So I went to pick up a cigar, but I saw they also had pipe stuff, and I saw the Jermaine's logo on some tins. I was like, do you by any chance have any
Rich Dark
Rich Dark Flake?
Yeah.
And he had two, so I got two. I bought two, and
I mean, it is just. This is like This is holy grail leaf in it.
yeah.
In essence.
And I said that to the guy. He was a little bit snooty. I was like, this is like gold does.
What
This
do you,
is
sir?
like, rather.
Brilliant. Yeah.
You have the demeanour of a working class brother.
Yeah. Well, that rings, sir. That's £1,000.
I'm from Shirebrook.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, you? Does that want me money or doesn't that? Is my brass good to thee or not, you? What does that want from me? So, it is just because we've been after it for a little while, and we've kind of gone tinkered around the edges a little bit. We ended up with the brown flake, which is very nice.
Yeah.
But that elusive Rich Dark Flake, man, what a smoke that is! Just everything that it lived up to the hype, and, and the hype was real, right?
Definitely. I always thought that there was burley in this, but having now, between first smoking it and now having smoked a lot of burley, I no longer believe that. I think it's mostly Virginia. Maybe got some Cavendish. You know what these people like? They never say exactly.
Don't tell you, not the secret recipe.
But I think it's mostly, like
Colonel's blend of secret herbs and spices.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Colonel Sanders.
Right.
I think it's mostly dark, air cured Virginias. But
as we found out, sorry, cut across. But as we found out with the San Sepulcro, good quality cured Virginias can be an amazing smoke.
Yeah, they do. I think when they've been aged and they're dark and they're air cured and stuff, they do kind of approach a kind of richness and boldness that is a bit like a dark burley.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same, but it's something approaching it. I
It's
think.
getting up there. Yeah. We had great fun with that tin of San Sepulcro, didn't we?
Absolutely. And just as another aside, just by pure chance, I did on the way back home from Oxford, I did pass the Eagle and Child, which is the famed, watering ground of Tolkien and Lewis.
That's right.
It was all sampled up though.
And Christopher Lee.
Is that right?
Right. So
really?
there's an old short that's been floating around that drifted across the algorithm 2 days ago. And Big Chris, God rest him, right, walks in, Saruman himself, walks in and said, he was talking to Terry Wogan, on one of the old chat shows, and he sits down and said, I once met the professor once, and he was every bit as enigmatic and wonderful as you could possibly imagine. With an enormously long pipe, drinking a mug of beer. Like, wow, it's amazing!
Yeah.
It's amazing. And he said, and the chap he was with said, "Oh, do you want me to introduce?" He got He was completely fanboyed. He was turned into a complete fan. You know, he was a big lad, right? Big unit, big tall lad. And he said, do you want to meet him? He was like, oh, if you think that's it's like, yeah. Don't worry, I'll bring him over. He came over, took his pipe out of his mouth, shook his hand, said, "How do you do?" I said, "How do you do, Professor?" It's the most amazing English thing ever. Yeah. It's so cool. So cool.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Lee, I think he said that he used to read Lord of the Rings like once a year, I think.
I mean, wow. That's a good undertaking. Yeah. That's
definitely a big fan.
Undertaking. Yeah.
And it's funny you said, because he came up in my feed recently, he was talking about how he really doesn't think that, he was talking about, like the immortality of the films, the Jackson trilogy.
Yeah.
Doesn't think anything like that's been put to screen. And I think he's right.
Yeah, I don't think it's becoming a bit of a cliche and a bit of a boomer thing to say almost. But it's like, it wouldn't get made now. It's like, and I don't think it would. In terms of budget and the risk that New Line took to bring that out, that seems like a weird, almost a kind of a stupid thing to say now. It's like, well, of course they would. It's like it's a massive IP. But, it's always been like. It's always had its own massive fan base. Yeah. It's had its own appeal, but man, because not everybody was like really, really over the moon with it. Some people kind of gave it a bit of a, they were quite down on it. Things that they had to be removed. But yeah, I just don't. I couldn't see a studio now looking at how risk averse they are. The bean counters that are in charge at Hollywood. Yeah. No, they just wouldn't touch it.
It just wouldn't have happened.
No, not at all.
I remember I must have been about 7, and I remember Dad picking me and my sister up from school and saying he was going to take us to see Lord of the Rings. That was the first time I'd ever heard of Lord of the Rings, and in my little head, I thought it was a wrestling or a boxing thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was about. But it took us, and I just remember being like hooked on the film. And then I think that Christmas, I got the box set of the books. And it actually took me I didn't read it at 7. I think I tried, and I was like, oh god, this is tough.
Yeah, tough.
I think it took me a few years before I actually cracked on through it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So I was working at it was a record and musical instrument shop that was in the middle of town, and when it first came out, and Tanya was working at Mrs. Dion was working at the cinema.
Oh really?
Said like, we've got like an early show, because they used to get like the early showings, like the test screenings to make sure, not test screenings, but to make sure that the reel was okay. The reel's okay.
Yeah.
And she said, I can get us in. Do you fancy coming and watching it? So we ended up getting like the first dibs on the screen. When each one was released.
Yeah.
And for each film, the next door. So I was in the guitar and drums and keyboards part of the shop, and next door where the CDs and DVDs and videos were, they got in an early run of the box set, with the limited edition, the extended edition, with the stuff. So you ended up either like with the Argonath bookends.
Right.
I don't know where they are. I've still got my DVDs. I don't know where my bookends ended up. I think one got broke.
I've got Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith was the third one. Yeah, that's right. And there was like a statuette of Gollum, thinking for the two towers, I think. But yeah, man, it was nuts. I mean, the whole thing was nuts, and I can't. Yeah, I can't see it being topped in my lifetime. Not to that size and budget, for that kind of blockbuster film, I just can't see it being touched. Which kind of leads me on to, before I do get led on to, I'm going to go for hardware as well tonight. So I've got it's been a little while since I've smoked old Faithful, the old Nordin freehand. We got Mark Edgar on. Good to see you too. Welcome back yourself, young man.
Welcome back.
And in there we've got some, again reaching into the boondocks a little bit, got some Cajun cake. Some C&D Cajun cake with just a little pinch of Maduro cigar leaf to give it a bit of welly, and that's going down a treat, absolute treat.
Amazing.
Oh, we got Highland Fair on. Oh, good lad. Green Dragon doors open. Yes,
Open
they are.
again. Thanks for joining.
I know we've had change of ownership. Not quite a change of ownership. we've had a clean up. Not a clean up. So we were talking about films and about Lord of the Rings, and just because we've got a couple of things to go through in terms of films tonight. I'd like to maybe touch on Dogville. So we're looking at a bit of a Lars von Trier run as our next little foray. I went to go and watch Iron Lung.
Oh yeah,
the Markiplier, and I've got to say it, man. Like, okay, the narrative I found it to be a little bit because I've not played the games up until then. I've played them since. It's actually pretty good. Very limited in terms of what it does, but and I think the film actually is quite faithful in representing like the style of the game.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it. I think the narrative was a little bit scatty at times. I don't mind that so much. You know, I think I don't mind having to work a little bit at narrative, as long as there's something holding it together. And visually, it's shot really nicely, really, really nicely. On a budget, his budget, out of his own pocket. So he's done it on his own coin.
He's got that YouTube money, hasn't he?
He's got that YouTube money, but fair play to the man. Like when he kind of think, well, like I'm going to make and direct and star in my own film. Like, sounds like a bit of a vanity project, but man, he did a really good job.
What was the budget? Do you know?
30 million, something like that, and he's just annihilated it, and he's 200 odd million like already.
Really?
And he's gonna go into DVDs and Blu-rays. He's like, we're going physical, like for home release. Like, yeah, I'm all over that. Lovecraft fans, go and have a look at it. It's just it's really got that Lovecraftian vibe. Little bit sort of again, we'll come on to this maybe a little bit later, but a little bit sort of catabasis. He's going down. He's got to find something in the glory that he gets coming up. He's got he's sent down to go and find relics and like sort of like fossils and oddities that are in this sort of this sea of blood, but that's got its own whole sort of background and story. And man, it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought to say he'd done it all himself on an absolute shoestring budget.
I am intrigued, but I've not seen it myself, but I am quite intrigued by that. So I think it is something I'll go and...
Lovecraft fan,
yeah.
You'd love it. You'd absolutely love it. So we got we got Star of the East. Nice English blend, new to me that. Yeah, I don't think I've touched that one.
I haven't tried it. I think it's like an Oriental.
I was going to say Oriental, yeah.
Bit of like Turkish Oriental in there, or a bit of Lataki.
I smelled the Turkish tobacco.
Not tried it myself. How is it? You'll have to let us know.
Yeah, I've not touched that one. I wondered if it was a little bit like the Byzantium one.
I think so, but I think it'll have like a Virginia in it. And did Byzantium have like Oriental in it?
I think no, it's Perique, isn't it? It's Perique and Latakia, and I think there was a little bit of Virginia. I think there's a little bit of red Virginia, if I remember rightly. I think. So, what are we drinking? Because we've got Island Duncan on, but we're not drinking Scotch tonight.
Right, yeah.
And we're not drinking bourbon tonight.
I know.
And we're not drinking rye tonight, even though I've got some bourbon and I've got some rye.
Maybe have a little bit.
Yeah, good shout.
But,
I wasn't gonna, but seeing as you've strong-armed me and threatened and intimidated me in front of millions of viewers, everybody heard you. So what are we drinking tonight, H?
So tonight we're drinking something that I just kind of picked up on a whim because both of us are kind of, well, I think you first kind of got into like the wine thing. I mean, we both.
You're blaming me for this? Is that where we're going with this? Yeah.
We both have always, enjoyed a glass of wine and drank some wine.
Yeah.
But I think you got. I mean, you kind of got into the Gilby.
Tom Gilby. Yeah.
And
he was a proper wine wonk. I mean, I love his channel. I love the way he reviews and his content. I think he's a proper lad.
Yeah, and you got me the book, and I started reading the book, and then at the same time, even without really searching for him, he kind of ended up coming into my feed, and so I started watching and enjoying his stuff, and yeah, so we've just kind of been on a bit of a wine thing lately. So this is, I just kind of picked it up on the way here. It's a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo organic from Morrison's.
Yeah.
They're like the best range. So
very, very nice. I've got
That is good actually. That is kind of what I wanted to know.
Red fruit, I think.
Yeah.
For me.
Red fruit, a little bit of black maybe, a bit of cassis,
Yeah.
a little bit of spice, but it's got a really nice mouth, like the tannins go in the mouth.
Soft. Yeah.
Yeah, like supple tannins, and that's kind of what I want. I wanted something. It's not quite full bodied, but I wanted something a bit full bodied that would like really punch me in the mouth.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, we got Bearded Kennesayan on as well. Story East, one of his favourite blends. Great choice, yeah. Oh, well, it sounds like they're threatening us to get a tin on it. Yeah, so maybe that's one that we can.
You'll have to describe it to us, lads. Sell it to us because we're interested.
Yeah, Red Pillars on on the Star of the East. Great name.
Yeah, it is. You know, like speaking about the wine, and speaking of the tannins, I do think that, like, especially with like a rich tobacco, the tannins kind of, I don't know, play with it a little bit, and
find softer palate wine to be just the job with a bowl. Find anything that's kind of a bit more sharp, it's got a bit more spice, a bit more bit more up front, better with a stick. I found.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Very, very nice. So, buying some more great blend. Yeah, give us some tasting notes, Dunk. So, Lars von Trier, Dogville was our last.
That is what we've
big watch.
Yeah, that's what we watched recently. So
and it is a big watch.
It is
3 hours.
It's 3 hours long, but as we both kind of agreed, it doesn't feel that long. Like,
paced very well.
You don't feel like you're slogging through 3 hours. It just kind of like it's so expertly paced, and it just, you really don't feel like you've sat through 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's an unusual film in that it's filmed on a, what do they call it? Not a soundstage, but it's.
And it basically, so like the way that I kind of describe it to people is like it's like a film of a play almost, but even a play with very minimal set.
Yeah.
So virtually no set. There's just an outline of buildings, like literally like chalk outline of buildings.
And like it's labelled as well.
It's labelled. That's right. That's right.
Like Chuck's house.
Yeah. With like little bits of like the church come sort of community centre was like you could just see the tower.
Only the spire.
Just the spire.
Yeah.
Interestingly. Like the mine, you could just see just the like the pit props. Yeah. And then and those kinds of things, like the old tower. There was like the old mill. There was like a couple of bits that were sort of knocking around. Bits of structures. Very minimal makeup, very minimal sort of soundtrack. Little bit of music, but only just kind of a little bit of music. Nothing sort of over the top. Nothing that really sort of is there to carry the narrative at all. Very sparse. So what it does is that it forces all of the story, all of the narrative, all of the expression and emotion in the film to be carried by the actors.
Yeah. It's the performance. Yeah. So, and everyone puts in an excellent performance. So, I mean, we're gonna go into spoilers. So, it's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And she is. First, it kind of sets the scene. It's like it's 1930s Depression era. Yeah. Was it Oregon or what?
It's somewhere in California, I think. No, Colorado. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, like Rocky Mountains town.
And it kind of sets the scene in this little town. There's not many people at all. Everybody knows each other. It establishes Paul Bettany's character, who is the male lead kind of. He's the town philosopher. Yeah. He's writing, but he's always writing. He's never really publishing.
That's right. Young Tom Edison.
Yeah. His name's Tom Edison, but no relation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of implied that he's kind of living off his dad, who is a doctor, and he's drawing a kind of a decent pension, so he's managing. But everyone else is it's not a rich place. Everyone's working hard.
Yeah.
And then one night, Tom is out and about on his own, and Nicole Kidman just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
And she, in contrast, she's clearly dressed well. She's got this fur coat on. She's
Nice fur coat.
Yeah, lovely coat. She's well put together, well groomed and everything. She's clearly coming from money. She's trying to hide. He kind of convinces her to stay and take refuge in the town. At the same time, some mobsters show up and say that they're looking for this woman. They're clearly looking for Nicole Kidman. They give him a card to contact them, but he turns them away.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, Tom puts it to the town meeting council thing that they've got a fugitive.
Yeah.
And do we want to give her shelter?
Yeah.
And the agreement is that they will agree to 2 weeks.
That's right.
Like a kind of trial period.
Yeah.
And it's agreed that in return, she will offer her services to the town. So if there's a shop, it's help in the shop, help in the gardens, help pick the apples in the orchard, help teach the homeschool children, things like that.
Yeah.
That's how it starts off.
Yeah. And initially, they're all sort of quite welcoming. It's not just the mob that comes round. Like the police start coming round.
Right.
The feds start coming round, all saying like, "Oh, we've got a poster that she's wanted. Oh, she's just missing." But they're quite vague about sort of why.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It goes from wanted posters.
That's it.
From missing posters to wanted.
Yeah. Even though she could only have been said, "Oh, she's wanted for a robbery." Like, well, she could have
been in the last couple of weeks.
That's right.
But she was in the town. So.
And initially, like the town are all very reticent. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to do clean my kitchen or take my trash out or hold my hand while I do something or whatever it is. And then over time, they're like, well, Nicole Kidman like speaking to whose name is Grace, right?
Yeah, her name is Grace.
Goes to Tom, Paul Bettany, and says, "Oh, they're not really sort of opening up to me." So he said, "Oh, you have to be a little bit forceful. So I know you want to do that, but I know you don't want to. I know you don't need to do it, but I might quite like to do it, and it's something good for me to do." So she kind of convinces them to open a little bit, and they said, "Oh, well, if you like, you can trim the gooseberry bushes, or you can help with, with cleaning up for my daughter who's got she's in a wheelchair and stuff." And over time, that relationship starts to develop. That it becomes less and less about a sort of a quid pro quo. We're doing something for you, you're doing something for us, and it becomes much more about take. It's like, well, you've got to do something. You've got to do some more.
Yeah. In the first act, like you said, at first they're a bit like reluctant to put her to any work, but then it kind of either give her these little jobs, and she starts to really fall in love with the town.
Yeah.
So she's getting on with everybody pretty well. She's earning a place in the town, and one thing is that these like 7 figurines in the shop window that aren't being sold,
and they're minging.
Yeah,
these things are horrible. Yeah.
And the narrator, John Hurt, by the way, is narrating, and he's saying that even like a few days ago she would have dismissed these as tasteless, but now she really loves them, and she's saving up her wages to like buy them one by one. So she's really getting stuck into the town, becoming part of the fabric of the town. And at first, in like the first act, everything is looking really wholesome, really nice. The second act kicks in, as we've mentioned. The heat is building from the like she's getting hotter as a fugitive. Like the police, first she's missing, then she's wanted.
Yeah.
Then it's like, so the town decides that the risk is getting higher, so the reward needs to match it.
We need more off you.
Yeah.
We need more off you. We're going to pay you a little bit less.
Yeah.
And instead of having only an hour to do the bit for each member of the community, you've only got half an hour, but you've still got to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it starts to become more and more onerous on her.
Yeah.
Before I get to the next bit, maybe I'll have a quick check. So 50% Latakia, Red Virginia.
Ooh.
Good use of Orientals to bring it all together. Oh yeah.
That's a lap bomb.
Right,
That's a lap bomb.
Yeah, one with the ball. I think they complement each other. Very good, I think. Very good.
I agree. Like I was saying, like like when the tannins and the fruit and the spice kind of come together, especially if you're smoking something that kind of leans that way, like a dark flake or something like that. I do find that it complements each other. In the past, it's not typically been my first choice of beverage, but with a smoke, but
goes quite nicely.
It is going quite well.
Yeah, it's pairing up quite nice with the. There's a little bit of fruitiness in the Cajun cake.
Oh, definitely a lot.
So, so it kind of plays quite
like
nicely off that.
It
is.
I can imagine that the wine is going well.
Yeah, it's riffing off it quite nicely. I'm pretty impressed with that. It's on about red Latakia, red Virginias in blends. Yeah, I've got a couple of red Virginia blends. I'm all about it.
I like the red Virginia. It's so sweet.
It is. Yeah. Bit richer than the golden as well. I find it's got a bit more complexity to it.
I really enjoy the red Virginia. I've tried Commonwealth mixture before, which is 50% Latakia and 50% like of a dark Virginia.
Yeah.
That is just a lap bomb though. That is just like sucking on pine smoke. So yeah, I mean, recently I've run out of all my C&D stuff. I've got no so I've been going back through my stash, and all of it, because I've been smoking C&D for so long, all of it has been jarred up for probably like 2 years, if not more. And I am going back and I'm finding that I'm enjoying stuff again. Like,
right.
I've gone through some Gareth Hogarth Dark Flake, which has been great.
Yeah, that's nice.
I've gone through some Louisiana Flake, which has been really good. Even a bit of Fire Dance Flake.
Do you know what I went through? I went through a bit of a phase of going back into my Capstan tin jar, and I tell you what, man, that has aged up really nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking like San Sepulcro sort of quality, but definitely like aging it a little bit, just for a few months, has just been enough to really sweeten up and take the edge off those harsh golden Virginias.
I've had the same thing with the Gowith's full Virginia Flake.
Yeah.
Fresh out of the tin, it's really sour, vinegary.
Yeah.
It's a hot smoke in terms of you got to be bitey, really bitey. You got to be careful. But if you learn how to smoke it, it has got this rich, really enjoyable flavour. But year in the jar, it got the, what do they call it when it crystallises? The what do they call that?
Not plume. What do they call it?
Maybe did they call it plume?
Plume, yeah,
Maybe plume, yeah. Where it like looks like like crystals.
Yeah.
And I smoked it, and all the sourness. So you can imagine like an apple cider vinegar turning into like an apple sauce.
Yeah.
It was great.
So good. Yeah, that's the move. So yeah, it's been quite nice having a bit of a foray through the back back catalogue.
It has been a bit like a trip through memory lane. Yeah. To be honest.
Probably due a C&D order now. Yeah. We'll get something put together.
I know Mitchell's has got a tin or two of Cabby's mixture in.
Oh, okay.
Which I've always enjoyed in the
Cabby's
past.
is nice. Yeah.
So I might pick one up.
I've still got a little bit from the Covent place. Yeah. So that's a nice smoke.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. So Grace has been pushed around from pillar to post. She's starting to get more asked for her. Of her for less money, and it takes a bit of a turn. So, so Stellan Skarsgård, the Chuck, who's the farmer, the apple farmer, isn't he? Yeah. he ends up taking her down to the orchard for her sort of her work time with him, and basically like graped in essence. And
but there's no vineyards.
And there's no vineyards. No. This is the bad grape. And it's like a bit of a turning point in the film where things start to really get nasty.
It's a tonal shift, definitely. It like you sense that things are moving in a bad direction, but that is it really flips the whole tone, and from there it just
spirals.
It just gets worse and worse.
So and initially it's like she tries to sort of keep it quiet, and she tries to effectively to excuse him for it. Oh, it's been a tough time, these people are doing the best with what they've got, and and it's a tough life out here, but I'm sure I'm sure he really loves me as a person anyway. It's not about that, but it keeps happening. It starts to happen more and more, and she gets spotted.
Yeah. So there's one sequence where there's a guy who drives a truck.
Right.
He kind of like transports the apples out and stuff.
That's right.
And it says at the start of the film that he's a frequenter of a house of the evening.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
cat house.
Yeah, cat house. Yeah, and Tom and Grace pay him to put her under the tarp when he's taking out the apples.
Yeah, she's had enough.
Yeah,
she's
got to get out. So to take her out of the town.
Yeah.
And he takes her into Georgetown, which is the next
That's
of town over, like a kind of like bit of civilization going on. And he says something like, there's a surcharge on transporting dangerous cargo. So so again, it happens again under the top on the bed of the truck, and it's a horrible watch, really horrible nasty watch. And then the truck starts again, and there's this. He pulls the tarp off, and she's back in the village, back in Dogville, and it's a really odd moment because there's no music, there's no set, there's no real kind of cinematography to highlight the nature of the moment.
Yeah.
And somehow that makes it all the more nightmare. Just like a horrible, it's got a horrible nightmare quality to it where she thought she was getting out, she paid a horrible price for it, and she's ended up back
still
there.
Yeah.
It's like being in a nightmare.
Right. And she gets spotted. So the wife of the guy who grapes her sees what happens, and instead of siding with Grace, says, "Oh, you led him on. I saw that. Yeah, you led him on. You seduced him." And so she takes. Initially, she goes to smack her. She can't hit her, and then eventually she says. She takes these little figurines, and she got a full set of 7, I think, by then. I think she'd scraped to get the full set on this pittance that she's being paid, and she says, "I'm going to smash 2, and if you can hold back your tears, I'll spare the other 5."
That's right, because this woman is a bit obsessed with classical Greece, and she's been reading Stoicism or something. So if you can put Stoicism into practice and hold back your tears, I will not smash the rest. But
her name was Vera.
Yeah.
And all of the kids' names were all Greek. And Athena, and she tries very hard not to cry, but she just this is a tough kid from Chicago, I think was where she's supposed to have been from. Hence the mob ties, and she can't hold it back, and she just ends up crying. So of course she smashes the lot, and then they decide after that. Well, it's just an open. It's not even a secret. It's an open secret. Everybody knows, and then everybody starts to literally abuse her, physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and SA. Right.
Yeah, and by this point,
even the kids are involved in it, aren't they?
Yeah, the kids are complicit because it says that they ring the church bell every time she is assaulted.
Yeah.
But by this point, they've chained her up. Mm-hmm. They've chained her by the neck to a heavy cartwheel, like the spokes of a cartwheel, with a bell on the neck. Yeah. So it's horrific. Right? Yeah. And they're all doing this gaslighting stuff where they're like, it's not punishment.
Yeah. It's just to make sure that everybody's okay. Everybody knows where you are and what you're doing. And it's so grim, and it goes on and on and on and continues to the point where you think, well, something's got to happen. She surely can't put up with any more of this, but she kind of does. Eventually Tom says, look, you need to tell the villagers, tell everybody about how you feel about it, and have some truth told. So she goes to the town hall. He calls a meeting. They go to the town hall, and she tells them how she's feeling and what they've done to her. And man, they are so butthurt.
Yeah.
And get twitchy about what she said. It's like, I can't believe she's calling me out after all the things. Oh, thanks, man. After all the things that we've done for her, how dare she? how dare she say such terrible, slanderous things about him, which is, and of course, not slander, it's all true. But push comes to shove, Tom, the guy who's supposed to have been helping her to escape and being supposed to have been in love with her, who's allowed all these things to happen, who stood by while he's seen other men force themselves on her, he welches on her, right? Yeah. He's supposed to have got rid of the card that the feds gave him. He's kept it and calls the mob guys.
Yeah. After, and it's that decision is triggered because she has rebuffed his physical advances a couple of times, so it's real snake stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, he's such. I mean, Paul Bettany plays him so well.
Yeah.
I love his character.
Bettany's great.
He's played lots of very, very different characters.
Yeah, he's got range.
Gangster number one, he plays an absolute monster. He's got that film in the palm of his hand. He's a horrendous, horrible monster.
Yeah, I've not seen that, but you spoke
very good, very, very good.
He's got the comedic skills in A Knight's Tale, playing Chaucer. Yeah, very funny.
He's got timing. He's got
very funny in as Chaucer. Yeah,
and as Silly Billy, I think it's like ironically comic because in Sharp as William of Orange.
Yeah.
He's got, but again, like he's got presence. Like, he's a good. So he nails it. It takes a really good actor to make a bad guy that you really hate.
Yeah.
And he does it really nicely. So they call in the mob, and she spots the sound of the car straight away as being that's right. It was a nice old caddy, and so the guys come out and Tom greets them as if he's done this amazing feat for them. Like, oh, look what I've done for you. Look, I'm not going to take money off you, but if you're going to give me some money for doing such an amazing thing, well, maybe you'll feel better about it. Tries to sort of philosophize his way into their good books, and they're pretty rough and ready when they're all toting Chicago typewriters.
Yeah.
And
they immediately demanded taking out the chains.
Right. And says, who's put her in these?
Yeah.
Who's put her in these? Bring him over here.
And Tom is so quick to
he did it. Yeah. You can thank him. Yeah, he's the good guy. So they get her out of the chains, get her into the caddy, open the back door to speak to the boss, who we've heard a little bit in the opening scenes, but haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And it turns out
it's Sonny Corleone.
It's Sonny. James Caan himself. Another knockout performance. This time as let's say a bit more weathered, a bit more seasoned mob boss this time. Her dad. Her dad. The head of the family.
So none of these people know that they've been abusing the daughter of the king.
Right.
And again, it happens in a subtle way, but it's felt that the tone again has flipped.
Yeah.
So we've gone from a wholesome kind of pastoral kind of earthy scene. Oh, she's getting involved in the town. It's really beautiful. To a horrific nightmare mode. Back to kind of like a weird kind of like calm, tranquility, serenity. It's like
but it's like a breath in this time. It feels like a breath in before something. It's like the eye of the storm. It's like something's really about to give. That it's very, very, very tense. I think it's the scene of the film for me.
Yeah.
That final scene, that final chapter of the film. It's in 9 chapters, and that final scene is just until the very, very end. It's just Nicole Kidman and James Caan who play out this conversation. Which, man, it's just up there. For me, for any piece of dialogue in anything that's ever been committed to celluloid, it's that good.
It's excellent.
It's so good.
It's essentially a courtroom scene.
Right.
And this is like the philosophical crux of Lars von Trier's, what he's trying to get across, I guess. So to summarise it, Nicole Kidman, Grace, is making the argument that these people are products of their economic status, where they live, the time that they're in.
The time.
Had I been under the same circumstances, I would have acted the same.
Yeah.
James Caan counters that you're arrogant.
Yes.
And
which was the accusation that she levelled at him
she made to
initially.
him.
Yes.
She called him arrogant, and he said it stuck
Being
him.
judgmental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, in fact, you are arrogant because you are holding yourself to this lofty standard, and you are. It's like they call it the bigotry of low expectations. You are withholding that same standard from these people.
They don't know any better.
Exactly. Yeah. It's patronising. It's wrong. And not only that, but you are withholding from them the consequences of their sins, which is wrong. It's not for you to do.
Yeah.
And that is...
It's not an act of love.
Right.
You can't love somebody and helicopter them, right? You've got to let them make their own choice and live by it.
Exactly.
It's the two sides of the forgiveness and judgment argument.
Justice and mercy.
Played so well between them both. And initially, he says, well, look, have a think about it. I want you to come back. You're my daughter. I love you so much. I know I've done things that you would disagree with and that I regret. Stops short of saying like I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
but he says like I regret it. It was I acted in bad faith. Why don't you take a minute to think about it? And she goes outside. And again, very, very subtle music. I think there's a little bit, but very, very little. It's all done with the lighting and the shot, and just to kind of on a slight tangent, because of the way that it's shot. Unlike a traditional film where it's you're in scenes and you look, it's the director's eye. I'm looking at Grace's face around the town. You might have an establishing shot, but because of the way that the focus works, you can only really pick up on two things at a time. In this instance, because of the way that it's shot, you can see the performances of the other characters inside the buildings. You can see what they're up to.
Yeah.
You can see the look on their face. You can see the fear in their eyes, even though they're inside, right? And she goes outside, and the light changes. And it's like the cobwebs are just blown away. It's like someone's flicked the light on, and she can see the town eventually for what it is.
Which, by the way, it's a book ending because just as an aside, that happens at the beginning of the film.
Right.
Like, she's kind of weighing up whether it's the right move to stay, and the light changes. She sees the town in a different light.
It's very soft. It's very golden.
Maybe I can make a life here.
Right.
And then it happens again.
Right.
Where you're describing.
Right.
And it's the opposite.
Right.
It's like all the sentimentality is taken away, and she sees these people for what they are, what they've done.
Yeah. And it's harsh white moonlight.
Yeah.
It's not golden.
Unforgiving.
It shows every flaw, every character flaw, every knurl, every knot in the wood. Everything is all out there for everybody to see. And she goes back into the car, and says, if I was to come back, would I get power straight away? Would I be given the power that you're talking about to take over as your heir? Would I be able to get the reins straight
Basically,
away?
would I take the seat of your right hand?
Right, right. And he says, sure, yeah, go for it. She says, okay, well, I'll come back, but I want to start right now, right now. And he says, okay, well we'll do that. Said, maybe we'll make an example of this town for treating you like a dog. Maybe we'll blow the dog away, and then and nail the remnants to the wash. No, don't touch the dog.
Yeah.
No, that's no. But this is a town that because it could happen again. This is a town that the world could do without. Somebody else might come along. Another one of me might come along, and this or somebody in even worse circumstances, and worse might happen. It's got to go. So James Caan, in one of the most brilliant performances, with just a great line, just knocks on the window to one of his goons and said, K them all.
Yeah, douse the place in gasoline.
Burn it down. Burn the whole town down. And she said, whoa, hang on a minute. No, just a minute. There's a woman. She's got 5 kids.
I think it's 7.
7 kids. Saves matches up. Yeah. She's got 7 kids. Do them first. Make her watch, and if she can hold back her tears after the first 2, then we'll spare the rest.
Yeah.
She cries too easily. It's just an absolute gut punch.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, what we were saying is just after we watched it is there's the way things are going, the way that the conversation with the dad is going. It seems like she wants to let them off.
Yeah.
And inside you're going, oh no,
come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
They need to be punished.
Yeah.
And then when she gives the order for the punishment and it's being carried out, you're like, oh.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah, yeah. You can't. Oh.
Well, you know. And they basically carry it out, and Lars von Trier, though, I think the way that he set this up, it's like to lead you in. He's drawing you in, like, look how bad they're treating her. Look how bad they're treating her. You wouldn't put up with that, would you? How much more would you put up with? Come on. Now they're chaining her to a mill wheel. Now they're treating her like a dog. Now they're all having the fun with her. Come on. Surely you wouldn't put up with that. That's got to be punished, hasn't it? That's got to be dealt with. You're like, yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. And then she's like, I'm going to deal with it. You said, fantastic. Good. Yeah, that's right. They deserve it. Yeah. That's right. And then they show you. Then they show you. And you're like, because like, it's not just like kids who are old and they're like, I mean, kids can be little buggers at the best of times, right? But they blow them away first, and there's a baby. Yeah. And it's like, oh man. I mean, like, we're getting to Herod levels now. Yeah. Is this really what we want? But man, he makes you pay the price. He makes you watch. Yeah. It's us that are made to watch. Then it's us that are made to watch about the consequences of the action of judgment, final judgment, last judgment upon this town. And they duly do everything that she says to burn it all down. And then the very last scene is her leaving, and just before she leaves, she sees the dog. He said, "Oh, I took the dog's bone. He doesn't like me because I took his bone. That's all it is." And she lets him off the lead.
Yeah, the one thing that I don't understand is because up until now you hear the dog barking, but it's only drawn as a chalk outline,
right,
like a dog laying on the floor. But in the very final shot, the dog materializes into a real dog. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know. No, that's a good shout. I'm not quite sure. I have to give that some thought.
Well, you know the way that she says, "Oh, he's just angry because he thinks I took his bone." It kind of sounds like she's going back to let him off because.
Making excuses.
Yeah, so I'm also not too sure about what's going on there, but I mean, it's a powerful ending. It's a film that will stay with you for a long time, a long time.
Outstanding film.
Yeah,
love the style. I think less is more like, yes, in this instance, I think less is really more. You get such big performances from the cast. Good cast, like Nicole Kidman at her prime, right before Concrete Face, right before you know, and you've got James Caan in there, you've got Paul Bettany in there, Chloe Sevigny plays a really unlikable. I mean, they're all unlikable to a larger or lesser extent,
and also. Ingmar Bergman veteran Harry Anderson.
Right, man, you spotted the straight. Yeah. Is that Harry Anderson?
Yeah.
Like, it is, yeah.
I had a huge crush on Harry Anderson.
She was such a babe.
She was gorgeous. Back in the old black and white flicks. Yeah. I would put her up there with like Hepburn. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful Swedish lady.
Yeah, right. So yeah, some massive performances turned in. I think even the kids do a really good job of like being obnoxious and hateful.
Especially because one thing that we forgot to mention is that she's coerced by one of the kids that she's homeschooling into spanking him. She doesn't want to, but he kind of says that if you don't do it, I'll say that you did.
Yeah. And so you might as well just do it.
So he's a really strange little child. But the great performance, like the way that he's manipulating him, that performance from a child is incredible. I think
it's probably a bit of a Lars von Trier selfie. Maybe, I don't know how he works these things. But I can just imagine him pulling his britches down in front of the teacher and saying, "I've been a naughty boy, you better spank it till it's all purple." But just a cracking film that relies on so few elements to carry the plot and the narrative and the emotion of the film. It's and the tone, paced really well, filmed really well, very clever creative shots. You know, they're having to work with what they've got, and it's all about the eye, it's all about the lens. And I didn't know until you mentioned that there's a follow up to it. So Mandalay, set on a plantation. So perhaps worth a watch. But I don't think I've seen another film like it.
It's a unique film.
Yeah,
very much so.
So yeah, that's Dogville. We're gonna try and catch a few more of the Von Trier films. It's Nympho.
There's Antichrist. Yeah.
Did he do another one with Willem Dafoe as well? I think there's a couple of others that I think he's been.
Well, Willem Dafoe's in Mandalay.
He's in Mandalay. That's right.
He takes on the role of James Grace's father.
Yeah.
Because they're the only two characters to move into the sequel.
Right.
Grace and her dad. Played by different actors though. It's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
And
that's right. Yeah. So that's the look for next time. Man, really enjoyed it. Very, very much enjoyed it. Enjoyed both. So those two films that I've watched that have really stood out for me over the winter break. They've both been really good. So that and it, in its own way. I just thought the thing with Iron Lung was a really interesting, almost kind of an experiment.
Yeah.
In the sense that like Dogville, you've got how much can they make a film, big budget film, with as little as possible and keep the narrative solid. This has been like, how can they make a film on a tiny budget, which is going to compete with the big lads, and effectively cut Hollywood out of the loop altogether. Mm-hmm. Man, I think by and large he's done it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see it.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
So, kind of linking a little bit from the sort of Lovecraftian themes with Iron Lung. There's a couple of other films as well that I picked up that I've been watching over the winter break. One of them was Videodrome. Messed up, right? Really messed up film. One of my favourite Cronenberg films, and like very, very dark. Very sort of body, because I wanted to watch it because it's body horror. So I'm kind of getting into like the whole sort of body horror subgenre, if you like. I got into a thing about commonplacing. So I'm trying to get rid of like phone time. I'm a bit of a sod for just like endlessly scrolling. Lent's coming up. I want other pastimes, other things that are going to try and wean me off. Just endless screen time, right?
Yeah.
I need stuff that's gonna bring me away from that. So one of them that I picked up was a young lass from Oxford who's a bit posh, but so, like a bit of drawl. So,
oh dear.
But she pulled together a video that was really good, very interesting about commonplace books, and brings it back from like the start of the like turning industrial revolution, like England. So I think it was Daniel Defoe said England is a land of commonplace books, so it was like a commonplace book culture, which almost like has just completely fallen out of the like. I'd never heard of it, right?
No, I'd never
heard of it, right? But it's completely fallen out of the lexicon, right? The modern verbiage, and what it effectively is like you build your own mini. It's a little notebook that you fill in, and you basically build your own little encyclopedia of something that you find interesting. So that could be something as wide as, what are all the things that I find interesting, and I'll have a little entry about all of them, right? Could be that you define it to like your hobbies. Could be that we just said, oh, we're going to do one about pipe smoking, so we might have one on the culture of pipe smoking. We might have something on Tolkien. We might do some on, on tamping. We might do some on different tobacco types and where it's grown. So all of the conversations that we have with all the guys who come from the different tobacco plantations, for the cigar nights, we might make a few notes in your commonplace book. Oh, this guy's talking about Connecticut broadleaf. Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds quite interesting. You'll have a little sub-page entry. You index it all, and you've got a little book that you can just kind of go back to and use as a little reference guide. It's quite a cool little thing. Oh, we got Sam on. Look here.
Oh.
Mr. Reeve. Well, we're alive.
Welcome, Sam. How are you doing?
In the flesh, in poison. Good to have you on, Sunshine. Good to have you on. And sorry to hear about Biggie, man. That was a blow.
Yeah, that was very sad. Yeah.
Raising a little tipple to Sam's doggo. Lovely dog.
He was a beautiful dog. Lovely dog.
What a lad. So commonplaces. So I decided to do mine on Lovecraft, and on the Lovecraft, not necessarily Lovecraft himself, but on the Lovecraftian themes. What makes a book Lovecraftian? Yeah. So we had a bit of a chat about it because I was picking your brains with you having there's probably a good 20, 30 IQ points above mine, right? So like, what does Harry know about it? Go on, pick Harry's brains about it. He's a clever lad. He's a clever youth. So we had a bit of a chat about it, and I'd already kind of come up with like body horror, cosmic horror about these eldritch entities from that are very difficult for us to imagine even to what do they look like. But also this thing about catabasis. So the big thing about the Greek, classical Greek mythos. About the descent, isn't it? Literally meaning to descend, or like these characters descend into the underworld, to the nether realm, and to come back with something for the greater glory, right? So it comes back with a trophy. I've killed the Medusa, right? Or I'm going in to kill the Minotaur.
Exactly, yeah.
One of the things that we had a chat about in terms of the Cthulhu mythos and the Lovecraftian mythos is like, yes, there's a descent, but there's not really any kind of glory, right?
Yeah.
This is Lovecraftian catabasis, right? It's a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
In some cases, like it's a bottomless pit, right? There's just endless descent. So that we kind of went into, not to go too much into detail on that. That's probably maybe a thing for another.
I do think that's a great take, and because obviously, the ultimate catabasis is the descent of Jesus' soul into Hades.
Harrowing of Hades.
The harrowing of Hades, breaking open the gates of hell. So he's gone down, and not only has he returned in glory, but he's actually conquered death.
Right.
It's like
the last monster, right? Yeah, the biggest monster,
the
boss,
final catabasis,
the final boss.
And so the Lovecraftian is like a complete inversion, because it's like, and actually when you were just talking then, it made me think of maybe like in the Greek pagan mythos, maybe an example is, the story of Persephone, where she's the daughter of one of the Olympians. I don't know if it's Zeus, I can't remember, but basically she's kidnapped by Hades, taken into Hades, and basically she eats 6 pomegranate seeds from Hades.
Yeah.
Her release is negotiated with the Olympians, but because she's eaten of the fruit of Hades, she spends 6 months in Hades, she spends 6 months in Olympus,
right,
which accounts for summer and winter, because the gods are happy when she's with them in summer, and they're sad when. So that's like, she's gone down into the underworld, she's taken something from there, but it's cost her something.
Yeah.
And the results are permanent, which is kind of like the Lovecraftian. It's like, you've gone down, you've eaten of the fruit of knowledge.
Right.
And you're paying the price.
You've got your Cthulhu mythos points. It's going to cost you sanity.
Exactly. Yeah. And you'll be lucky to get out alive, but if you do, you will not be the same.
Yeah.
And it won't be good for you.
Yeah, that's a great shout. So all of these kind of sort of these little these sections of Lovecraftian themes, that's what I've started to build my commonplace book around.
Yeah.
So once I've done with this one, I don't know, could do one on fishing, could do one on piping, could do one on all sorts of wine, whatever it is. I might have just a general one, one about each. But the idea being, what's the function? Because we kind of generally know about what we're into.
Yeah.
So what's the function of doing that? Why commit it? And if I really wanted to do it, well, why can't I just use like an app? You know, I could just do it on Notes or on Notion or something like that. But the purpose about putting the physical act of putting pen to paper is that it's designed to order your thoughts. And I think we've spoken about this before, where when you commit to your thought train, by writing it down, your brain is naturally screening out, because you're having to. It's permanent. This is a permanent record. You're kind of having to screen out lower quality thoughts or things that you're a bit ambivalent on, that you're not quite, a bit ambiguous, a bit vague. No, you've got to make sure that you're fully committed to what you're trying to explain or not immortalize, but you know what I mean, like to kind of commit to record, like you're making a permanent record of this. Is this definitely what you think? And this all happens at a subconscious level.
Yeah.
So what you're left with is something that's really good quality.
Yeah, and Jordan Peterson spoke about this. Like, writing is a form of thinking. It's perhaps like the most synthesized form of thinking. And I think people used to notice, like, at the minute I'm going through Brothers Karamazov, and there's a scene where all the brothers are in Elder Zosima's cell, and they're making conversation, and they're talking about Ivan has written this article on kind of like the role of like church and state, and everyone's read it, like, and they're all discussing it, and like, that used to be a thing that people would do. Like, you'd have an idea, you'd write an essay on it, you'd get it published, then it would be in the cultural kind of zeitgeist for the time. People would talk about it. That's how ideas got like propagated and synthesized. Like, oh, you had something good there, however I think this, I'll write an essay on that. It forwards the conversation.
I found something that completely dumps all over your take.
Or
like, have a look at this, and then think, oh, okay, maybe there's some validity to that.
It's a lot.
Or you might think, no, you've missed the point, and it forces you then to go back into your argument and hone your argument, and by doing so, your ability to reason and to draw on logic and to argue your point.
And you know what it kind of reminds me of is the UFC. Like, in the beginning of the UFC, the idea was that we're going to get a guy that does Northern Temple Shaolin Kung Fu to fight a boxer, and then it's like, this guy knows 5-finger death punch and he's going to fight. And anyway, it turns out that Royce Gracie, from this family in Brazil, that have like synthesized judo into a kind of like highly synthesized wrestling. Turns out he's dominating everyone. So like all these ideas come together to battle it out. And like one kind of rises to the top.
Because it forces. It forces the best. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I think St. Augustine said, like, the truth is like a lion, you just have to set it free. And it will devour, the false.
Man, that's a great take.
So now, if you're going to fight in the UFC, you've got to know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And probably you've got to know
and some striking,
some Muay Thai and boxing. You've got to know that. You've got to.
Which is a great shout, because when you look at, just pulling out something like Ronda Rousey, who was like, it was judo, wasn't she? It was
judo,
and it took a reasonable way, right? Like she did okay.
But she got,
until she came up against somebody who was the real deal. Like Holly Holm, who was
and everyone's seen that photo where she gets tagged.
She gets mullered. And then but for me, I think the worst one was Nunes. It's like she just like that was just
she got tuned up.
Absolutely lit up.
So and it rocked her really bad.
It did. So what do you do? So in that case, you've kind of been through you've had the polemic against you, right? So you've got to go away and rethink your views, right? You've got to rethink. Am I right on this? I mean, her decision was like, I'll go and do like WWE. So maybe it wasn't quite the same thing.
And whine about everybody.
And then just moan. That'll work. But so coming back to the point on writing, and especially hit on the point of essay writing, was another video that I picked up from a guy who was talking about the lost art of essay writing, about you've probably not written one since your uni days or your school days. Why not? These are a really good tool to get deep into your knowledge,
and whether they're read or not.
Exactly. So sorted a Substack out. It's not for public consumption. It's just for me to start spaffing some ideas out and getting it out on paper and helping me order my thoughts on stuff. I put a really whiny one about work or lack of, and then the rest is going to be on some really interesting, hopefully interesting to me, not interesting to everybody else, but interesting to me topics. As a principle of having to order my thoughts.
But I mean, it's funny because when you do write something that you're interested in, you've got a genuine interest in, you've thought it out well, you've organised, edited your ideas, you'll find that people like that.
Yeah.
People are interested in that. I was having this conversation the other day, like, I tend to listen to a lot of, like, lectures and video essays on YouTube and stuff, but sometimes, a lot of the time, some of the most entertaining content is someone sat in their car just going off the top of the dome.
No, that's so true, yeah.
And you can see that they're, like, thinking in real time.
Right.
And it's coming out of their mouth.
Right.
And they're often the most interesting, just like listening to a real person's real experience.
So there's a guy who does. I'll have to find the channel. I'll have to find the name of the channel, and I'll drop it in the comments. Who just does woodworking? This guy's called Scott, and he's a carpenter, and he's been doing it. He's in his 60s, right? And he's been at it years. He's done it since he left school, and his channel is basically just all about him sat or stood doing some woodworking. He might do one on tools, he might do one on measurement, he might do one on the use of strings and making lines. He just did one on knots. It was just 15-20 minutes and it was outstanding. It was like watching a master at work. Every time he was speaking about, he did one about fixing a vice, it was a pin vice, like a big old-fashioned English vice to a bench that he built. And this bench was like a piece of furniture made. It was beautifully made, and he'd grown the timber, he'd felled the wood, ripped it to get some nice planks, really neatly done, glued them together to make a top, planed it all out, built this beautiful bench, and then fitted this vice to it. And his guru, as he's kind of talking to it, is a guy called Ken, and he's just sat in his chair in this big comfy chair, smoking his pipe, and he never speaks. And it transpires that Ken can't speak because he's had a stroke. But he'd coached this fella Scott to on how to build stuff, on basically being a carpenter and a woodworker
while being unable to talk.
Later, so before, but
okay.
but what he's done to kind of to keep him into it, to keep him on it, he's brought him in to keeps him on the channel to kind of oversee his work. Man, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And this guy, it's just pure honesty. It's an honest trade, and it's like watching a master at work. It's so good. And the video, going back to the one on measurement, was about making sure that your measurements are real. I mean, I always say like measure twice, cut once, right? But it's about different types of measurements, different measuring implements, but about getting a really good mark that you can make. And then right at the very end, the very, very, very end, he talks about measurement as in like the yardstick, about the canon that we, like the Christian, like the Christian notion. I think we've lost video. I think my phone's died. Gah! Let's bring that on for next time. Yeah. Sorry the video's gone down, guys. We'll get that one for next week. We're probably pushed on quite far tonight, so we'll hook back on that next time. That's maybe one to leave off. So sorry the video's gone down. We'll sort that out for next time, and we'll get back on.